Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you to Bible Club 2020-2021. While the situations might be a little more different this year, we will try our best to bring our little bit of Jesus to each of you in your homes, at school, or even, I don't know, in the restroom at your grandparents' house, wherever you are. With all the events taking place this year, we thought our verse of the year should be based on keeping a strong faith in Jesus. While there was a certain virus going around, we decided we need to make sure we keep our eyes on the prize, and that's Jesus. Standing for what you believe but can't see is one of the biggest acts of faith we can do as Christians. And no three humans did that better in the Bible than Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And no, that's not the name of some foreign chain restaurant down the street. These are three brave men who planted their faith like an anchor against the opposition King Nebuchadnezzar. And once they did so, well, let's just take a look for ourselves. Now, we were going to have a full-length feature film for this, but due to a certain virus going around, we had to use items from around our house for the video. Anyway, on to our story. Here we have King Anyway, let's just call him Nebi. Our little Nebi had a dream in which a statue of many materials was destroyed by a large rock. Daniel interpreted that this dream meant his kingdom and kingdoms to come would all perish, but the kingdom of God would stand forever. Nebi got salty after hearing this interpretation, so he decided to rebel from this dream by building a large golden statue. King Nebi commanded all the people of Babylon to come and bow before this gold statue as a form of worship to it. What a jerk. All the people came and bowed before the statue. Except for three Jews. These three were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These three men knew that what was going on was messed up.
This is garbage!
The only one worthy of such honor and praise was Jesus. But these toe kissers were more obsessed with an oversized Oscar trophy. When King Nebi noticed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego weren't bowing to the trophy, he questioned them as to why.
What's your problem?
They said only God is worthy of such glory and praise. They refused to bow before this false idol. The king grew angry and said, "If your God is so powerful, let's see if he will remain faithful when I cast you into the fiery furnace." All the three men had to do was bow before the statue, but they planted their anchors of faith and trusted God above all else. The king became more furious, so he turned up the heat. I meant the furnace.
But my bagel bites!
Eventually, the king cast the three into the furnace.
Adios!
The king awaited to hear the cries of pain as he sat eating his bagel bites, but nothing happened. Though he had thrown three men into the furnace, he noticed there were four standing amongst the flames.
What in tarnation?
The fourth man standing with the Jews was Jesus. He had remained faithful and protected them in the fires.
Get out here!
Nebi had asked them to come back out, amazed that the three men were completely unscathed. They didn't even smell like smoke. King Nebi realized the power of God and began to worship him, saying, "There truly is no other God worthy of such honor and praise." Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were promoted by the king. But this was more so a blessing received by God, for they had faith in him through the flames and the furnace. They planted their anchors. These three men had enough faith in God to trust him through the hardships. You think you can too? Now that that's over with, let's go over what we want you to take away from this video. The Lord was with these guys till the very end and never once left their side. Like when Nebi asked them, "Why aren't you bowing?" They stood firm on God and said, "Because only our God is worthy of such glory." And he truly is, as in Psalms 27:1, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" If the creator of the entire universe decides He wants to help you stand strong against the devil or King Nebuchadnezzar or that kid across the street with a pet chimpanzee. The point is to never back down if what you are doing is right with God. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice of their lives because they wouldn't do what Satan wanted them to do. They stood firm like a boat with an anchor and challenged the stormy seas, or in this case, the fiery furnace. And that brings me to my next point, hope. These guys had hope that when the time would come, the Lord would stand by their side and give them the strength to get through their challenges. In Psalms 9:18, "For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the hope of the poor shall not perish forever." The needy shall not be forgotten. In those times when you feel nothing can help you, the Lord is always there for you. Just plant your anchor to God and give a little prayer so He's ready to help you. And the hope of the poor shall not perish forever. He is ready to help you through any situation as long as you have consistent, steady, and firm belief that He is there ready to help. But that is the hardest part of the whole thing, conviction. Conviction is standing and believing God will help you in the hard times and the easy times and the in-betweens. We as Christians find it easy to feel great in the good times, like when we have everything going right, like good grades, all your friends are getting along, and everything else is just fine and swell. Then we fall in the bad times, like a challenging class, maybe friendships are being tested, and possibly even family issues. It really just depends on what's happening in your life. But remember to keep your faith like an anchor. Even when the world seems to be against you, like Psalm 16:8, "I keep my eyes always on the Lord. With Him at my right hand, I will not be shaken." If you are only counting on God in the bad times, but not in the good ones, are you really standing firm on Him at all times? Look at it this way. You have a friend who needs help with a school project, and then you go to help them, you do your thing, then that's that. He gets a good grade, all that. Next day you see him at school in the lunch line, say, and you try to make talk with him, and then he just kind of ignores you and pushes you aside. Let's say the next week later, he has another project and he asks you for help. Wouldn't you feel like he's just using you at that point? It's kind of how God feels when you only ask on Him in the bad times. That's why we need to stick strong with Him like an anchor at all times. It's awfully tempting just to ask for God's help in the bad times. To be real, I've done it too. But that's something else you need to watch out for. Temptation. When Satan is tempting you to do something like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were tempted to bow down to an idol, never be afraid to stand firm on your anchor with God and challenge whatever Satan may try to tempt you with. But the thing is, idols can be anything that are taking more of your time than God is. Those things can range from way too much video games to indulging in way too much social media, which admittedly sometimes I spend a lot of time on too. But we should be ready to give those up whenever God would want us to, whether it be standing up against someone who says maybe God is worthless, how could He ever help you, or just getting rid of an idol in your life that's taking up way too much of your time, or even just saying no to drugs. Time to bring this all back together. Let me read the verse of the year one more time real quick. Hebrews 6:19 through 20. "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. We have this hope that things will get better. As an anchor for our soul, so that we are not shaken by any temptation. Firm and secure, so that we are always ready to take on any problem, the easy life, or the toughest storms this world has ever seen. If your faith in God, the creator of the universe, is strong and ready to take on the world like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these three were ready to give their lives because God was by their side. My question to you this year is, what idols are you willing to give up so that you can stand firm on your anchor set to God? That's all I got for you. I hope you guys have a great school year. Hope you guys kind of got something out of this. And enjoy your time at Red Bank. Remember to stay close to your anchor to God.